Alright, welcome to lift station maintenance training. We're here at Newberry Court, Hadley Hill Lift Station. This is a capsule. To open a capsule, just close it like that. When closing the capsule, locking it, you have to go all the way up and then back down. So that would be how to lock it. Let's walk in. And here on the right, we have the light. Check our fire extinguisher first thing. Get ourselves a pen. Get the fire extinguisher. All right. Get some gloves on. Move on to greasing the pumps. So both are still in auto. We'll turn those into the off position. Come here, and then we're going to be checking the oil on these pumps. We'll check at the bottom side. We'll unscrew the top one here. And you'll come and look at the oil on the top. And you're just gonna look to make sure that there's some oil in there. It's not mixed with water or anything, and it's not cloudy. And we'll be looking at these belts in here, making sure they're not cracked or anything. Check our gauges, not broken. And we'll repeat the procedure with the other pumps when we check the oil. Then we come to this guy. This is the air relief valve. And we'll put one pump into it, and then we're good. And we'll take a rag and we'll wipe the extra grease off with a rag. And we'll take some WD-40 and spray the shaft and the spring. That's simple. We'll do that on both sides. All right. Now moving on to the PLC. So in every station, not only is there a logbook for all the information that gets done, everything that gets done on the station, but there's also a monthly checklist. And so this checklist, as you can see, has all the things that we do during our monthly maintenance. Check, 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 check. Part of that being, we're going to check the pump timers, and then we're going to reset them. So, in order to do that, there's a little guide here, unlocking the PLC, and then checking and resetting the counters. We'll start with unlocking the PLC. Exit, enter the keyword, right, and then we punch in the keyword. You guys aren't going to know that one. Now the PLC is unlocked. We've unlocked the PLC, which means we can now examine or modify programming. We're just going to examine the analyzer out. We're going to go up to 22. Analyzer out 22 would be the numbers for pump 1. These are the pump running hours for pump 1. So we're going to check those. That would be 4, 2, 6, 5.0, 5.02. All right, that would pump 1. We're going to exit, go to pump 2, which would be analyzer out 24. At 42, 42.34. All right, now we're going to exit, go back to level. So this is how much sewer is in the wet well. If we click M2, the first press is going to tell us how many times pump 1 is started. Sorry, how many hours it's run. 4.1 hours. If we click it again, event, it's going to tell us how many times it's turned on this month. 83 times. M3 would be pump 2. 84 times it's turned on. Pump 2, how many hours? 4 hours. So each pump is done about the same amount of time. We're going to clear this number. So we'll go exit, test, status. We're going to double click and go up to 110. Enter, go up to turn it on, enter. 111, enter, go up to turn it on, enter. 112, enter, go up to turn it on, enter. 113, enter, go up to turn it on, and enter. This is now cleared out those numbers. It's reset the counters. So if we go to exit, here's our wet well level again. We click M2. How many hours? 0 hours. M2 again. How many times it's turned on? 0. M3, pump 2. It's turned on 0 times. How many hours? 0 hours. Now we can literally turn, this is pump 2. We can turn it into hand mode. And we can watch it start to go up because now it's counting how many hours it's run. And while the pump is running, we're just going to go and we're going to look and make sure everything's looking the way it's supposed to look, sounding the way it's supposed to sound. We have no leaks, no shuddering, no vibrations. This spring is supposed to open, so it's opening and closing. That's good. That's letting the air out. The motors aren't vibrating, the belts aren't rubbing, everything's sounding good. This is normal. We're going to check our suction and discharge pressure, make sure they read about what it's been reading in the past. Now that we've run pump 2 in hand, we'll put it back into off, turn both pumps back into auto. You would do both on each pump to run the full maintenance. To keep the video short, we're just going to do one. The next thing we would check is we're just going to check, make sure our bubbler is working fine. This is what gets our wet well level reads. And we do some general cleanliness and just maintenance. The other thing we do is we come over here to the flow meter. We unscrew it right here. Click totalize, and that goes to this. Now we're going to read the numbers. So we have forward flow. This is how much sewage the lift station is pumped total in the whole its lifespan. 39695016. And the reverse is how much backflow we have. 826.20. So then what we'll do is we'll subtract last month's from this month's, and we'll get how many hours the station ran in the month. How many gallons, sorry, not how many hours. That's on the last page. So you can see this station pumps on average about 200,000 to 300,000 gallons of raw sewage every month, and that's about right. Once we're done here, we'll click it back to flow rate. And so we just ran pump 2, we can run pump 1. And you can see the gallons per minute run up. For this station, we want it to be about 150, 140 GPM. Looking good. Back to auto. Whenever we leave a station, we want to make sure we're always in auto, and have our lights on. All right. Now let's go out and let's check the wet well. There's a manhole hook in every station. We'll come around and we'll look at the wet well. What we're looking for is trash, debris, or any objects that aren't supposed to be in there, or infiltration like I&I. This one's looking good. All set. All right, that is lift station maintenance in just a brief overview.